But Nashville was a place to learn songwriting.
But hey, switching gears, I want to talk about your Nashville time.
Sure.
So you did it. As far as I'm concerned, you were in the grind. You did it, man. You really plowed the fields, if you will. You really developed a lot of chops in Nashville. So you're from New England, and you ended up in Nashville somehow for some reason. And I know a lot of that reason was for music.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What was Nashville like for you?
Nashville was kind of a dream come true because around, as you know, like the area of Massachusetts where we grew up in, there isn't much of a scene. There are some big fish in the world, in the world, but in our part of Mass, like there were people I looked up to, like I'm sure for you too, like local people that come to mind are like Mike Higgins or
Number one, Mike Higgins
or Matt Borello. Just like some of those people were very well recognized in Taunton and in Dighton, and the neighboring cities. But it was hard to kind of get to that level in a way. Like I feel like once certain big fish have developed their reputation, then it was harder to kind of to break into that and to do the exact same thing. What was cool about Nashville is that there were so many people trying to do the same thing as you, which is a little bit daunting because it's very competitive. But at the same time, you're in an environment where the best of the best flock to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you've got people. I had friends from out of the country, from Los Angeles, from New York, and from Massachusetts, which different parts of Mass that I would have never. Like John is from Massachusetts.
Wow,
but
I didn't know that.
But he's from Cambridge.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's a different part of Mass, but I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for this open mic in Nashville.
Right.
And the open mic in Nashville was Cafe Coco, and they still do the open mic, but it's not the same person who runs it. The person who ran the open mic, his name was Cody Bottoms. He recorded my first EP.
Wow.
Because he does really good live sound, and we became friends over the years. And then I asked him, like, can you record me? And he said, yeah, I'd love to record you. So we ended up collaborating on that particular project. But Nashville was a place to learn songwriting. Cody and Cody ran the open mic.
You and Mr. Bottoms.
Yes, Cody Bottoms, great guy, good musician himself. He recorded it, and I forgot what I said after that. I'm trying to remember.
Well, let me ask you this in the meantime, and I'm going to pull this up on the screen.
Sure.
What is with this purple horse cow dragon thing?
Purple horse.
There's some kind of a horse, or maybe it's not purple. What's with the horse that's actually a cow, or a cow that's actually a horse?
On what? On what?
In Nashville, Tennessee, there's a purple restaurant horse with some.
That is the Wild Horse Saloon.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a restaurant, and so this has nothing to do with my music career. It's just like something silly. But there's an inside joke between me and my college friends that I confuse cows and horses.
Okay.
And so there's a restaurant called the Wild Horse Saloon, and they have a horse that's in front of it. And so when we first saw it, we joked that it was a cow because of switching the two animals, and we named it Kevin the Cow. And so whenever like my buddies from college understand the joke, and they say like, "Oh, it's Kevin the Cow," and then everyone else will look at it and say, "Dude, that's a horse. Like, what is wrong with you?"
Dude, that's great. I got a roommate who also confuses horses and cows and donkeys and ponies.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What an unfortunate thing to confuse.
And what an unfortunate thing. That's exactly why I brought this up.